Sarault to the net. Scores! What a great goal.
Shot by Doherty, blocked in front. Sarault, shot, scores! Charles Sarault brings the Fronts to within 2.
Back on Offsides, it is Kingston's most listened to hour-long sports talk program, 2 minutes past the hour on Thursday, September the 23rd, 1 day away from the long-awaited opening of the 2010-2011 Kingston Frontenacs season. Again, pleased to welcome you folks. Tyler King here in studio, welcoming you on 101.9 on the FM dial or across the world on CFRC.ca. And as we start our season preview, who better to go to than someone who actually plays for the team? Charlie Sarault, one of the Kingston Frontenacs forwards, of course, second-round draft pick 2 years ago, joins us right now in studio. Charlie, first of all, you just finished the last practice before the start of the season. I really appreciate you making some time for me. Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show here.
Let me start off with just how things went today. Obviously, it's such a long process getting ready for a season like this. Got to be tough for you guys knowing that there's so many players away at NHL camps that you're going to be depending on once the season gets going. Just what's the general mood amongst the team as you go into tomorrow night?
Well, right now, we're not trying to concentrate on the guys that are gone at camp and stuff. We're trying to focus on our team and what we're going to do tomorrow, working on some power play and some penalty kills, specialty teams. And we're looking forward to hit the ice tomorrow.
Let me rewind just really quickly, just back to last year, touch on it quickly before we talk about this year. Obviously for you, you mentioned at the beginning of that year, you didn't want to care about whether it was your draft year or anything like that. When you look back at last year overall, the start was a little slow, you were sick in training camp to start things. Was it a disappointment for you personally, or was it just an issue of playing time last year in your mind?
Well, the best players that showed up to camp last year were the one playing during the year, and maybe wasn't my best effort put out through the year, but I'm hoping this year to come out strong and have some more playing time. And up to now I've been doing pretty good, and I'm getting a lot more recognition on the ice and put into harder situations, and it's been good up to now.
Is it fair to say when you were playing last year with a lot of guys that are back this year, whether it was Alan Quine, Mike Farrell, Corey DeRoche, of course, you clicked well with when you had those 2 goals in the Peterborough game, they're back this year. Is it fair to say that was at least a good experience for you to sort of learn how to work with them?
Well, yeah, it's always good to have some guys back from the previous years. Like you said, DeRoche had a good thing going on last year when we played together there. The first 2 years was just more of a developing years for me. I'm just trying to get in there for the experience, and this year I'm feeling a lot more comfortable on the ice. I've had a big summer, came in shape to camp, and now I'm ready to go. Yeah,
and there's been words spoken in the paper about that as well that we'll definitely get to. But just one last thing on last year. When you think of it in a general sense, you obviously came here at the age of 16. A lot of players will choose to play in junior A or something like that and then come in second year. And Corey DeRoche was one of them who came in at the age of 17 and really started to light things up. In general, do you look back on that at all as a poor decision, or was it for you wanted to get to the OHL as quickly as possible, and playing when you were 16, even though you weren't getting a ton of playing time, was still something that helped you get sort of acclimatized to the league?
Yeah, I think, I think I wanted to be in the OHL as quick as I wanted as possible, because I wanted to see if I could get used to the pace, and I thought I did pretty good. But obviously now I can see from this year that I obviously hadn't gotten really used to it, and that I needed to work on a couple of things. And I thought it helped me to know what to work on during the summer and stuff. Now that I think at one of my peaks for this year, I feel a lot better and more comfortable, like I said.
Charlie Sarault, forward for the Kingston Frontenacs, joins us here on Offsides as the Frontenacs open their season tomorrow night against the Mississauga St. Mike's Majors at the K-Rock Center at 7:30. Charlie, even though you say it was sort of tough last year, the playoffs must have been, not just for the team as a whole, but for you personally, a pretty darn good time, because when you look at how you did, 4 points in 6 games, even though you didn't play in one of them, only Michael Fine, Taylor Doherty, Zach Harnden, Ethan Werrick, and Nathan Moon scored more than you did in the playoffs. Was there something different for you there? Was that something that you could see as a positive to carry over into the offseason, the way you played in that series against Brampton?
Yeah, well, I don't know, playoff time came around, and I thought I should step up my game a little, and I obviously got a little more ice there. It was good. That was a good experience. It's a whole new game when you get out there in playoffs. I didn't realize, guys would tell me like, oh, it's complete different hockey when you get out there, and I didn't really believe them until I got out there. And guys aren't missing a hit. No one's turning in front of the puck. Everyone's hitting out there, and I thought, well, this could be a good time to show our coaches and my team that I'm there, that I want to win, and I try to step it up a little there.
But for the team as a whole, I mean, for such a big disappointing loss, it had to have been in Game 7 against Brampton. Did it take you guys a while to sort of get over that, both you personally and for the team, or is that still in the back of your mind as you go into this year?
You know what? Well, last year is last year, but obviously it was a tough loss. But I think we're gonna learn from our mistakes, and whatever happened last year, we'll just build off that, and we have the players to do it this year. Should be an exciting team to watch.
Yeah, and let me ask you about that. Firstly, for you personally, going into this year, as we mentioned a little while ago, some good things said about you in the paper by Coach Doug Gilmour. The quote here from the Whig is, "I know the last couple of years have been frustrating for him," referring to you, "but at camp he's been skating really well. He just put himself back in a good position." What was it in your mind that changed over the offseason to cause Doug Gilmour to say something about you like that to the media?
Well, you know what? I came to camp and I came to camp in a lot better shape. My cardio was improved, and my physical strength, which is all thanks to my trainer in Ottawa. I have to give a big thank you to him. But you know what? In general, I think I had a good camp. I was put with good players on camp. I was playing with Michael Fine, and it's always easy to look good when you have a player like that on your line. He's got good hockey sense and he makes great passes, and I buried a couple of goals there. And I think that's what Doug wanted to see in me. Me finishing and me hitting out there and just bringing a new aspect to my game.
Has Doug Gilmour been saying similar things to you privately, that he was saying in the media that he was impressed and that perhaps you would be taking up a bigger role this year?
No, not really. Doug's he's more of just kind of in the game situation, he'll show you like if he wants you out there or not. Like he'll tell me if he wants me on the power play, and say like, hey, look, boys, go get one here, like, or something like that, and then I'll know that he's looking at me and like an offensive kind of guy role, or like something like that, which would be a new role for me to take on this year, which is what I want to ultimately become, is an offensive threat to other teams.
Well, that's kind of interesting because, of course, when you came in here, the big talk was always that you were a big two-way guy. And you'd said in the paper going in, I care about the pluses and minuses a lot. You said, I got the quote here from the Whig 2 years ago, you say, you'd rather miss a goal than give one up at the other end. In order to become that offensive threat, is there anything you're sacrificing in the way that you came to this team in the first place as sort of the big two-way guy?
Not really. I still want to be a two-way guy, but I just think have my head more concentrated towards the net, crash the net harder, or shoot the puck more often, create more stuff towards the net, which would be a more offensive threat. And ultimately, I just want to concentrate on getting the puck to the net and making sure I get a good amount of shots per. If you don't shoot, you can't score. So you got to get them on net. That's for sure.
I heard that one. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Charlie Sarault joins us from the Kingston Frontenacs. Charlie, with Ethan Warwick out for the first little while, at least he's probably not going to be in tomorrow night. Obviously, the team's a little short on centers. Have they made it clear to you what they expect your role to be as far as early in the season until guys come back? And have they made it clear to you how it's going to be for the rest of the season, or is it sort of just a wait-and-see situation for you right now?
Right now, it's just kind of a wait-and-see situation. We always wish the best for players that are drafted, gone to camps right now. Obviously we want them to make the team, but at the same time, if they're not ready, we do hope they come back to our OHL team, because it does make our team that much better. But right now, I don't know what kind of role I'm going to have. I'm just going to play my game and try to bring everything I have to the rink.
Not to ask you to criticize or anything, but were there times last year where maybe you weren't getting all the opportunities that you'd expected or wanted? Were there times where you thought to yourself, maybe I'm not producing a ton this year, but had I been given more opportunities, I probably would have produced more?
No, not really. There's our coaches made the decisions they had to make, and I respect their decisions all the time. If I wasn't playing, it's either because something I was doing wrong, or there was something that either the coaches weren't approving. I don't know, but no, the coaches' decisions were only for the team's best. We wanted to win, and that's what the decisions they made were for us to win, nothing else.